Praises, glory, and honors to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Kakudash. I'm give double honors to others, possible teachers, great millstone for my learning this truth. I say Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel. And I'm going to send this on. Well, I'm not going to go through the entire chapter, but send this on World War III and the destruction of Babylon Great America / Esau Edom's last stand. And everybody knows that there's a war going on that Trump started, which many of his own people are saying that this was unnecessary. It wasn't needed. And when you actually go and realize what's going on, his handler told him to help them out, to handle their light work, which isn't so light for them. And Trump went and jumped and just started a war, which is very interesting because when you look up who actually started the war between Israel and Iran, Israel did. Israel started that war with them. And America and Trump is trying to make it as if they're the good guys. And this is what you call propaganda. Because once again, Israel started that fucking war. And now America jumped in to help, his daddy. Trump jumped in to help his daddy. And now he's making it seem as if they're the good guys and also as if they're winning. Which, when it comes to the numbers on the amount of casualties and losses that America's actually sustaining, is a lot more than what Trump is pushing towards you people. And it's coming out more and more about how America is actually losing the war. And there's a very real prospect of America not winning the war at all. Which you would think that because they would win the war because obviously overwhelming power and all that shit. But when you actually, because there's this guy, what's the guy's name? I think his name is Professor Zhang or something. But he actually breaks down the technicalities going into this bout about how one of the factors over there in Iran, if you get boots on the ground, is the terrain. Because when you go into Iran, those niggas are the Persians. And when you go into the Persians, when the Persians were in power, they were fucking shit up. And that's those same fucking people. They just had a little bit of a name change. But those are still the fucking Persians. And when you kill, they were bombing all their fucking generals. And if I remember correctly, they killed their supreme leader, and I think they killed like his granddaughter or some shit like that. But those niggas who are over there in who believe, I forgot what type of religion them niggas believe in, but who believe in that religion, killing that nigga was like killing the fucking Pope. And it had plus the heart to put it like that. And those niggas who are stalwart in their belief, in their religion, are going to have no problem, no problem martyring themselves, because that just fueled their hatred. And now you have all these different, I guess you'd call it propaganda of how Iran vowed vengeance against America. And you had the brother that brought it out last night at the sit down with a second. They just mentioned how the dragons of Arabia and the Carmanians, which are Persians, are going to remember their nature and are going to be raging in wrath. But you're going to have those nations over there that team up to go up against America. And once again, the Carmanians going in, the Iran Persians, you already see them niggas crashing out, pissed off, because once again, America killed what they will consider to be the fucking Pope. He wasn't just a fucking supreme leader. The nigga was a religious symbol, their religious leader. But you have America, Trump quickly getting the ire of the entire world on America, even their own fucking allies. But people wondering why is this happening, because this is what the Lord wants to happen. However the Lord is going to do it, he's going to make it to where these nations hate America and they're willing to drop missiles on this bitch. And the prophets already told you people, but y'all didn't want to fucking listen. Y'all thought we were full of shit. This is Jeremiah 49. Just going to jump around here. 7. Concerning Edom, thus said Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from prudence? Is their wisdom vanished? And when you go into Teman, Temanites, Germans are the most intelligent of the Edomite nations. And that's why, you know, when you go into Operation Paperclip, what was that? They were taking those Germans and fucking kidnapping them niggas and having them make them fucking nuclear bombs and make them all, you know, making all that fucking technology. And they just snowballed off of that. If I remember correctly, it's Operation Paperclip. But the script is there no more wisdom with them? And you know, like what Trump from a tactical perspective, because no, I'm personally never been in the military. I'm no warrior. But logically speaking, anybody could see this. It would be a very dumb idea to, one, jump into a war in which you have nothing to very little to gain but more to lose, but also to jump into a war that has nothing to do with you, but to jump into a war with a nation who has the ability to nerf the entire fucking global market with that fucking oil. Now you can say that, hey, America makes its own oil, but Slocky, I'm driving right now. Yeah, you can say America makes its own oil, but those oil prices that are, well, America has its own reserves that can fucking run out. But it's not just oil, because all these other prices of things go up. For example, look, the price of gas went up this week to like what the fuck is this? To like $3.19, $3.29, or at least where I am. You have some people talking about how it's $4, $4 to $6 where they are. Even though America may have its own oil, that you know, fucking over there fucking with Iran still affected global the global oil markets. And it's not just going to hit oil, because all these companies, nations, they need oil for, you know, different machines, different processes. So what's going to happen as a result then? In order to make up for that extra cost for those base resources, companies are going to have to increase the prices of their goods and services, and that's going to get knocked on to the people. And you're going to see increased prices in every motherfucking thing. So once again, that's why, from a tactical perspective, and mind you, what makes it worse is that the economy is already in fucking shambles, and everybody knows that. You know, it's damn near 70 degrees. Everybody's having a good time or whatnot. They don't look like they're having a good time. They look horrible. But everybody's having a good time or whatnot, or a so-called good time. Everybody's just enjoying motherfucking life, right? But that doesn't change the fact that you have all these things that have been growing in the fucking earth. What the fuck is this idiot doing? Oh, man. You have all these things that's been building up. And a ton of shit happening in the background while people, like scriptures say, how did it say it? Because things are cheap, they shall think themselves to be in good case, even then shall evils grow upon the earth. And all these things have been brewing underneath the surface. You know, all of these rivalries and these tensions have finally exploded. Because like with Iran, right? People wonder, you know, why is Iran so mad? Not only that, because they've been getting bombed. Like last year, there were peace talks with Iran and America to stop the whole war that was going over there in Gaza. But what happened? I think it was Israel behind these niggas' backs bombed these motherfuckers, and then America jumped in. And they did the same motherfucking thing again, you know? America jumped in and started bombing these niggas. And they say, you know what? We ain't about to go through that shit again. Fuck y'all. That trust. Because they were at the table. They were at the peace table for talks. So that's why when they say, does Iran want to come to the table for peace talks? Well, based on your past, my past don't define me. Based on your past and history, what you did to us, no, we don't. We don't want to talk to you niggas. Not only that, but these niggas, Trump has been trying to bomb these niggas into fucking submission. And everybody, and they've been doing this shit throughout these other countries, whether it was directly militarily, whether it was economically, trying to fucking handicap and fuck over all these other countries. And now these niggas say, you know what, fuck that, we're tired of it. And this is how all the heathen nations feel. But you have some nations that have a little bit more to lose. I know there's one guy that I was watching that mentioned how if Iran is backed into too much of a corner, and if they feel that their existence is threatened, then they'll go scorched fucking earth and burn every fucking thing. And take everybody fucking with them. But you have other nations that, they have a little bit more to lose, so they may not be as gung-ho about, taking America down with, or taking everybody down with them. But that's how everybody fucking feels. Right? Because you had mutually assured destruction. Because, if some countries with nukes, and they say, you know what, fuck it, we're going to take everybody with us. You start firing off nukes everywhere, everything's fucking done. So you got some country leaders that aren't willing to do that yet. But that's how everybody feels. Verse 8. I'm just going to jump around because verse 10, but I have made Esau bare and have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. And it said, the Lord has made Esau, a so-called white man, bare. For the whole military thing, right? Because you have what's that? With this guy that had his fucking arm broken because he didn't want to. He said he didn't want to fight for Israel, and all your leaders are saying, you know what? Go over there and fight. We're going to start this war. Go over there and fight and die for us. And the American people are seeing how the so-called white man really is. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody. And the people in the court, and the brothers pointed out how when you see the full video, the people in that courtroom were just ignoring this nigga. The judges, they were just ignoring the nigga. Because he was speaking the truth. When you go throughout social media and through these different, comments and videos and shit, the majority of people don't want to give their lives and get involved in this war. But your leader, your God, your president got you niggas to this war. And everybody who goes over there, you're all going to fucking die over there. And I looked at this article and there's this quote that nigga Pete Hegseth said that there's no shortage of American will. In other words, there's no shortage of bodies and meat bags that they could send over there. And people are seeing how evil and vile and cruel America and the so-called white man really is. The heathen nations already knew this shit because they were on the receiving end of it. But you people didn't know. You people didn't want to know. Gonna jump down. Verse 13, for I've sworn by myself, said the Lord, that Bozrah shall become a desolation, capital city of Edom, could be considered America today, a reproach. And the Lord said he swore by himself. So no matter what, no matter which way he would, no matter how he would do it, the Lord would make good on his word, as he's always done, to make sure that this bitch fucking burns. And take a look. When you go into various birth pains, every birth pain gets worse and worse as you get closer to the birth. And we have two major birth pains. Well, three. You got the chip, Jacob Trouble, and World War III. Until the birth when Yahushua comes back. But with all these events, they've been getting worse. Until now, you niggas are actually in a fucking war. Like a real war. And now there's talks about a military draft. You got the possibility of niggas who are retired from the military possibly being brought back in. So you could be probably 40, 50, 60 years old, but they're going to need that expertise. They're going to need that experience and knowledge. All you niggas who are running around with guns and killing everybody, they're going to scoop you motherfuckers up, put you in a uniform, and send you off over there to get blown the fuck up. This is why we've been harping on, so this is why we stayed the course. This is why we've been harping on so much to believe in the Lord. Because this isn't, the scripture say, no, this is not of men. If it was of men, it will fail. But it hasn't. All these other groups have been, you've been seeing them exposed and going through all types of other fucked up weird shit. But the men of Great Millstone, others, Great Millstone, have been correct, because this is the group of men that the Lord is dealing with. This is real fucking life. And this is a shock to a lot of people. Because a lot of people were just going on about their day until they woke up one morning and they saw, wait a minute, at 2 a.m. Trump bombed fucking, well, what the fuck is going on? This is a shock to people. But this is real fucking life. Let me see. How much time do I have? Okay. Verse 14, I've heard a rumor from the Lord, and the ambassador sent among the heathen, saying, gather ye together, come against her, and rise up to the battle. For the Lord will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. So once again, and I'm going to go down, that terribleness have deceived thee. And what that pride that the so-called white man had to think he can do whatever the fuck he wants and get away with it. That pride, not only is it deceived him, because just like with Iran, right? You think America could fucking level Iran. But no, there's a lot of technicality and a lot of shit that goes into a war. Especially in a place like Iran, especially if you try to get boots on the fucking ground. Especially to a people who knows the terrain. There's tons of talks about these niggas not having had actually went into their armory. They've been using bullshit, older missiles. They haven't actually gone into their actual armory yet. And if you want to contend that those Iranians are not dumb, they're not fucking idiots, by the way. They're intelligent people. They're not fucking idiots. But that pride that's one of the reasons why the so-called white man is hated among all these heathen. Because he thinks he can do whatever he wants and get the fuck away with it. Try to get through this quickly. Verse 16, a terribleness have deceived thee, and pride in thy heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, but thou shouldst make thy nest as high as the eagle. I bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. And Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. And when you go into all these other past kingdoms, you would think that, hey, these guys are too big to fucking fail. Too big to fail until they fucking fail. You have that saying, the kingdom doesn't fall in a day. How does it fall? It falls from little cracks being put into that wall, holding back that water. And then those small cracks build into a fucking fissure one day until that, and then that you have too much water that seeps through, the crack opens up and the whole fucking wall collapses. That's how a kingdom is taken down. Through these micro surgeon-like strategic strikes at key areas and key points. And that's what's been going on with America. The family structure. The family structure. All you people's tax dollars, y'all wondering where y'all tax dollars go. Look up how much money Trump has spent on those fucking missiles compared to the amount of money that Iran spends on their missiles and their weaponry. I think it's like $7 billion within the first day he's used. All of you people's tax dollars are getting shot over there and scattered up and getting blown up in fucking buildings over there. That's where your tax dollars are going. Running up the motherfucking check. Inflation to the motherfucking moon. So that's another thing that's been built up over time. The morale of the people as well. Because what? People don't want to fight. Especially to fight for another country. But these Americans, they don't want to fucking fight. All these niggas want to do is chill and figure out a way to pay their fucking electric bill. So the morale of the people is another thing. But I'm probably make a part 2 to this, but I'm just gonna end it here. So y'all praise, shit. So 17, Edom shall be a desolation, everyone go by shall be astonished, shall hiss at the plagues thereof. As an overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring cities thereof, said the Lord, no man shall buy there, neither shall son of man dwell in. And how did Sodom and Gomorrah and there's a couple other cities that went out too, but Sodom and Gomorrah were the most prominent ones. How did it go? How did they go out? They went out with fucking fire. And what? Those missiles and the Lord Yahushua coming back to drop down chariot fire is how America's going to get finished the fuck off. Verse 20, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Edom and his purposes, that he had purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely least of the flock shall draw them out, surely she make their habitations a desolation with them. Least of the flock going into those Amalekites, those small hat hook-nosed niggas. And those niggas are America's the only reason those niggas have any type of military power at all. Because they've been providing them with fucking, with a constant stream of weapons and financial support. And that's why you see America fighting on their fucking behalf, jumping Iran. But they drew America into that war. That's an example. But so all praise glory and honor to Yahweh Shema Shabbat Shem Lakadash, the one to other spots teach me mitzvah from truth, shall want to hopefully like Israel, instruction about great America.